you want to do things right? To keep up with keeping your lives tight. Tight as in being right with the truth of true insight. Who of you want to do things right? Who of you want to truly succeed in attaining all in that which is your need? To be heard by the real answerer of all deeds, the true hero of all whom pleads. Who of you really want to bow down to the true King of Kings commanding the crown? To worship the one that ever rules alone, commanding everything of creation from the seat of its throne.
I'm your regular co-host, Fakir Abdulaziz. I apologize, filling in for our regular host, Idris Taha. Brother is a little bit under the weather today. We pray our Lord Ahezaah that he has a speedy recovery, and we look to join him soon. But we're here today, and we're looking again to give you out there in the audience a very enlightening, inspiring, and mind-opening program. We're here today, we're having a regular conversation. We're just going to do a regular conversation format, and with us is our esteemed guest, our leader and teacher here at the Assembly of Holy-Apostle Deen, which is what the community of A.H.A.D represents, under the banner of the Universal Religion of Truth, Lord Holy-Apostle Deen Saleem. Pleased to meet you, man.
Pleased to meet me. He said, pleased to meet me.
Pleased to meet you.
He's always ready to meet me every day.
Absolutely, absolutely. We were just getting together. We wanted to share with the audience. We will, just our general conversation for today. I guess we want to share with our audience. This time we're observing the community of A.H.A.D's, our Family Day celebrations, which are commemorated on the 13th and 14th of the Christian calendar. We call it, on the new calendar, we call it Allaah 1 and 2. That is the new date of what we call the A.H.A.D era. But we're celebrating these days at this time. We're also, along with the Family Day celebrations, we're celebrating the completion of Lord Holy-Apostle Deen's latest work, a book of peace, breaking down the biblical book of Revelation. And the title of the piece is Revelation Revealed. And Lord Holy-Apostle, if you might just come on in and share with us something about peace or whatever you like.
I'm not going to give away any secrets, but I'll say this here. The book should, hopefully the book be out soon. It is it's a reception of translation or the completion of the book of Revelation. John, when the Lord gave the book to John, he gave it to him in pieces. And it was a master's puzzle, so to speak. And what it's done with me, with me being the breaker of the seals, it has given me the other pieces of that puzzle. And now, after 2,000 years, a little more than 2,000 years, the book is complete. Book of Revelation, to John, is complete. And it's eye-opening. To me, it's unbelievable. And I say unbelievable because when things come so plain, so simple and clear to people, they don't believe it. That's been my experience. So I would say this is one of the most unbelievable things to believe, if I can,
It seems like when you say that, Lord, if I may, when something is hidden right in plain view, sometimes it's the hardest thing for you to find because it's just so obvious and alike. And we're talking about the book of Revelation in the book of Revelation and how, if I can recall in some of my in readings that I've come across, how it's such a mysterious book, a lot of mystical language, a lot of derived language in the translations of the book. And when you say it's going to be, so I don't want you, to give any more than you necessarily want to, teacher, but, just, is that what you mean by the clarity of it? It's a clarity that
yes, it's a clarity that is so surprising. It's so mathematically correct. It's so easy for a believer to believe because, how can I say this? Not just a believer. It's easy for someone who has a high level of intelligence to recognize and to realize that it's nothing that I could just go and put together. Of course, we've had people who claim that I was deluded. I've been deluded for 27 years, and still I haven't had a challenger to come forth and prove me wrong. You know, I put that challenge out there all around the world. You know, and when I say all around the world, I mean literally, all around the world. And the response that I've received is there's people in the Arab world, they step back and say, well, how do he know? If he don't speak Arabic, Aramaic, how do he know? Because see, they know things that our people don't know. Our people will be the last people to believe. You know, so when I received the book of Revelations, the translation or the completion or the pieces that the men didn't know about, and the Lord Ahezaah when it first started putting it together for me, and I started seeing, and it was telling me this book is about you, and this book is about your people, and this book is about this vicinity.
You're talking about
So how many people are going to believe that the Lord wrote a book 2,000 years ago with a foreign prophet, and was talking about this region of the United States of America? I'm sorry, but they know that the city of commerce and the buildings coming down, the smoke going up, and what have you is relative to, or the great city is relative to New York City. They know that. People all around the world talk about that's that. But when it talked about coming across the river, only the Jews know, the ones who want to take over this city, and people who study Nostradamus in the government that knows that Nostradamus is talking about this location. You know,
he said the books were the smoke coming from the new city.
Yeah, talking about coming from the incidents of 9/11. The incident of 9/11. They know that, you know, you have people who know what the prophecy is, and they are the jinn, the devils, the demon beast that's spoken about in the book of Revelation. And they are actively doing everything they can to get the people to disbelieve that this thing is even real. And so when it comes to someone like, you know, myself, whom Ahezaah has given the word, explain what the Christ is, and explain this promise, you know, that's in the book of Revelation, because they have control of the media, and they do have control of the media, it's easy for them to make the people disbelieve, because anything people, the general society, the commoners, they believe what they see on TV. You know, it's the same way they cause things to travel across country. Like, you know, we only get certain news from what's going on in different parts of the world, and we might get on international news. We might get on world news. We might get more information about what's happening in Scotland or Ireland or South Africa than we get about what's happening in Kansas City. You know, East St. Louis, Illinois. You know, how many people know about East St. Louis, Illinois, in this state, in this city? You know, and that's a bad place.
Probably only those in St. Louis.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, they control the media to control what's going on, and the jinn controls the media, and that's how they help hip hop grow to such a degree, and the gangs, you know, the various gangs grow in such a degree. And the thing about it is that there's so much money to be made in hip hop and in thuggery and evil. And see, so many people don't realize that, because if you do away with the, you know, the things that cause evil and the things that's actual, you know, like mayhem, murder, and, you know, and all the things that's going on, then where's authority? The government, the first line of the government is going to get their job, get their money from, the police, paramilitary. Where they gonna work? You see? So there's big business, big money in that stuff, so they pass that stuff on. They tell you what they want to, but when it comes to someone who really want to spread truth, they say he's a threat to our society, he's a threat to our whose society, whose government? The ones who want this mayhem to continue on. And then our people, they believe them.
In the book Revelation, Lord Holy-Apostle, or in any of the other pieces or something, are these people, this group, these jinn people, these hidden people who have put everything together, the use of the media, the use of hip-hop music, and whereas everything is tied together for their benefit, the benefit of, and for the reason of distracting the people, turning the people away from truth. Is that taken account of in any of in the book of Revelation?
Oh yes, yeah. All these things is taken account. They in the book of Revelation, hip hop, anything like that, and thuggery is not mentioned specifically, you know. But all the things that's involved with it is mentioned, you know. And also the fact of the matter that it's controlled, you know. It's a tool of the demon beast, you know. That leads these people, you know, to do their service.
One thing, hopefully, with our program here in the A.H.A.D moment, we're calling out to the people to give a listen to us. If the trust in the media as being an authority figure, then at least trust in this for this moment in the A.H.A.D moment.
This is the media.
To listen to this word, yes, and at least give it an examination. You know, a fair examination of a truth. You know, it may be it for my experience is a great life-saving event, you know, to at least look into it.
You know, in this book, this Revelation disclosed, that's the Revelation revealed, there, the Lord gave me also 2 chapters of the book of Malachi, two verses, last chapters of the book of Malachi. And it just briefly spoke about, in this particular book, it briefly spoke about the first 2 chapters being significant or words to and about the Hebrews, the Jews of the early days. That's the first chapter. In the second chapter, it alludes more to the Hebrews or the Jews, mainly, of this time. Okay. And with people not believing that the Bible is true, there's truth in the Bible, you got Christians that read it and overlook it, man. And they read and act like it don't exist. You know, they say they believe in the Lord, they believe in Christ, they believe in, but what they really believe in is everything that's dictated to them by the devil himself.
But do people also maybe pick and choose what they want to believe too in that too, teacher?
Like I said, they believe in what's dictated to them by the devil itself. They don't know it's the devil. They can't believe it's the devil. And by me saying it's the devil, they will get angry. They say, oh, you this, you that, and they want to know what religion I'm about. You see, before, at one period of time, you know, you would hear, if you talk about a truth or falsehood in another religion, then they think that you're just making war against their religion because you are, you know, the other religion. But I'm not of any of these religions. I'm of what Ahezaah has manifested today as a new holy covenant, meaning in a new religion, meaning a new way of life, where there's different orders in our covenant. The orders, the laws are the same as always, but the orders, the way we turn to prayer and things that we're involved in is different. And it's more selected, it's more specific for our people.
When it's incorporated under the ban of universal religion of truth, is that pretty much what it's called? It's universal religion.
Yeah, the universal. See, when we say universal religion of truth, that means it's incorporated in everything in the universe. All the religions, the truth of the universe, the truth of all the religions on earth. But see, you know, not to feed into the people who want to think I'm deluded, you know, who look for something, you know, the deluded people who look for me to be deluded. Our religions, the universal religion of truth is the same as the religions of the aliens. Now a chance for them to say, oh man, he talking about aliens. Even the government is beginning to tell the people, try to ease out to them that there is aliens. And I know there's aliens because I was in the military. I was in the Air Force. I was a command control specialist. I knew about different reasons, purpose, or missions that people were on. And I heard what was going on in the airways for pilots. And back in 71, they were chasing alien planes. You know,
so program, Lord, that they were talking about extraterrestrials possibly being in events in the Bible, even described.
Oh yeah, they are in Ezekiel, the book of Ezekiel is. But the thing about it is, the people are so into worshiping the jinn and following what the demon beast is saying that they can't see or hear what the Lord is saying. See, just by the fact that I call certain individuals a demon beast, they can't see. What are you talking about, demon beast? Come on. Who are you talking about? What are you talking about? See, because they so involved in not believing that Satan is real or the Lord itself is real. That's why you got people that instead of them calling on what Jesus called on, they'll call on Jesus. Because the devil wants you to call on anything other than the supreme being, anything other than the eternal, infinite, almighty, ever and ever being. They want you to call on anything or anybody. So Jesus is just as good to be used as anything else. Although we know that Jesus called on Allah. You know, they hated that guy. What's that guy, Mel Gibson? No. Was it Mel Gibson?
The one that did the movie on
Christ?
Yes.
They hated that he put in the wordings that Jesus called on Allah.
Yeah.
You know, they called him Allaah. And we knew that Allah's name was in the Bible, that it was changed. We knew that Hermes Trismegis's name was in the Bible. You understand? But how many people know about Hermes Trismegistus? How many Christians turned to look at Hermes when other prophets honor Hermes? You understand? I think it's in Matthew's they mention Hermes, you know?
That's so
I think so, you know? And, but the thing about it is in the book of, the last two books of Malachi, it's specific, a letter to Elijah's people.
We're talking about the last book of the Old Testament in the Bible.
The last book of the Old Testament in the Bible is a specific letter to the nation of Islam. And it just took me away. It just took me away. And Elijah, while he was alive, he alluded in ways to that, but he did it in a way that nobody really could see. You know? And the way Ahezaah opened this thing up to me and to put for the people, it is just so, you know, you remember I was talking about it. Oh, it's just so amazing.
Yeah.
You know?
The people not being ready for this, teacher, because of the manipulations of the jinn people over time when they're meeting.
And one of the sons of the jinns, Elijah Muhammad's son, he effectively killed hundreds of thousands of spiritual people. That was following Elijah Muhammad. They didn't have what Ahezaah has given to me. It wasn't time for them to get it. But the same way he considered himself going out there clearing the wheat from the chaff, so to speak, he's a chaff. Huh?
Yes.
He's a poison. Ahezaah itself calls him one of the greatest false prophets of our people. And in the Bible and in Revelation, it mentions him and another individual who I'm not going to call his name at this time, but it mentions him specifically as one of the agents of the beast. The prophet, the false prophet of the beast.
I guess, and again, another person which people might become angry about and hearing about this maybe for the first time if they've heard it or if they didn't believe that their leader, Lord Muhammad, is of the establishment jinn order.
If they just open their eyes, they can see that the man, first of all, as soon as Elijah passed, now we in 400 years or whatever of slavery, our people, brutality, mental assault, mental atrocity, you know, emotional, psychological defeat, just the living dead, we're taken down. Elijah comes by the command of the Lord, as promised, speak a few words. Now you got to remember, Elijah didn't say much. Elijah's words in itself was not an awakening. They were not life-giving. They were just plain words of truth. And if I may say, they were elementary. Elementary words of truth with no disrespect to Elijah, because Elijah is the Lord's holy messenger, holy apostle, holy prophet, and a Lord himself by the fact that he was united with the Lord and the Spirit of the Lord. I hold him to the highest, just like I would hold Abraham and Muhammad and Jesus. But what he was set to do, the level, the people he had to reach, they were elementary. We were elementary people. Therefore, his message had to be elementary. But it wasn't so much the message as it was the spirit of Allah as a sign of it being with Elijah that woke them up with a few words, and mainly the words that the Caucasian of this society, and actually he said all Caucasians were devils. Of all societies were devils. But he could have easily said devils are in, black man. He called us a black man. He could have easily said the devils are in black man. He knew that the devil was in us too. But it wasn't his mission to point out to our people that the devil was with us, it was in us, But it was his mission to point out to the people that, look, your open enemy is right there. And it's time for you to awaken and stand up and love one another, love yourself, recognize yourself, be respectful of yourself and your Lord. And Allah did the rest. See, Allah spoke those words through him, but Allah did the awakening and what happened. Now, anybody who's intelligent, I don't care whether they believe or not, can recognize, can easily see that the Lord Most High had to be with Elijah. Allah was so powerful in Elijah, and Elijah still lives. But you got men like Farrakhan trying to make people think that Elijah's on a mothership somewhere, and the only mothership Elijah's on is in his imagination, in Farrakhan's imagination. You understand? But our people, the people that he still can hold on to, they are, I love them, they're my brothers, but they are deluded. They are low-level thinking people in terms of realization. Now, I'm not cursing them or anything like that. I'm just telling you they have low-level realization. And they will hold on to a charlatan like that, just like the people in Christianity holding on to all these ministers that making their own churches and calling themselves prophets and giving themselves names of divinity, and or hold on to the Pope where, the Vatican, people of the Vatican, and the cardinals and all of them, when it clearly describes them in the book of Revelation about them being the mother of harlots, and they wearing the scarlet and purple and be decked with Jews, and they're the only ones in the world wearing that stuff, and our people, people still holding on to them, thinking, because they say they hold, it's crazy, but you know what I'm saying, But the thing about it is that Elijah was a message prophet of Allah, and Allah commands us to not equate or try to compare. But all I'm doing is telling you that his message was for low-level thinking people. And he did a perfect job.
You said it was necessary because they were already historically.
Well, you couldn't come to them and speak to them on a college level. It was wrong to go to a kindergarten individual, elementary individual, and speak to him in a language that's so high. Even I have problems because the Lord Most High give me language that's so deep and so high that I feel that if we don't get some brothers like yourself, to break some of these things down, they won't get the information. Because let's face it, you have to be raised. Everybody had to be raised. You have to be raised in knowledge, information, awareness, recognition, realization. You have to be raised in that. And if you get millions or billions of people being led by a few, like the Pied Piper leading the children into wherever, and they lead them away from truth, and it's only a few of you, like it is a few of us, then who they gonna listen to? I mean, you know yourself. Since you've been with me, you've known people that come from your past organization and the organizations in this vicinity of Newark, Orange, East Orange, Elizabeth, and other areas of New York, who has come to say, hey, you're wrong. Muhammad is the last. Unfortunately, I've made a joke of it. It's just ridiculous to me because if you're going to come with an argument, we talking about books, we talking about books of information, then you're going to come and your only argument is Muhammad is the last. Come on, that's so unintelligent, so ignorant, so foolish. Because somebody told you that Muhammad's the last. They said Joseph was the last. The Christians saying Jesus is the last, and the Lord, and that's all you need. Everybody saying it's the last. The people who following Elijah, I'm reaching out now to the coalition of for the remembrance of Elijah out in Chicago. I try to email, fax them, but their fax didn't answer. I got a letter from them because I seen something on the internet that caught my eye, and I said, let me reach out to them, because if they are for real people, then they know that Elijah said there was one to come after him with a book. Now, all the people in the Nation of Islam know that, and all Elijah Muhammad's family know that, and Farrakhan know that. But the thing about it is they're falling to the devil. They are falling to the devil when they ignore that most important message, because that's the message of continuance. Now, if they want to take the people, the hundreds of thousands of people that was with them, we're not talking about all the other people Allah calling, because Allah ain't just calling black African Americans today. Allah is calling all people, just like they do with all major prophets, because this is a passing of a time. These are the last days of a passing day. These are the beginning of a new day, which Allah is determined, Ahezaah, amen. Christ is determined to bring into being, and all the signs of it is all the mayhem that's going on all around the world. Now, if they play the role of being the ones who ignore me after I've called them directly a number of times, if they play in that role, then they are false prophets. They play a role to take the people to themselves. Because in truth, no man is righteous in bringing a people to himself. Every man, every prophet of Allah, every holy prophet of Allah, including myself, it toils to bring people to the Lord Most High, to an understanding of the Lord Most High, to the freedom, the free realm of the Lord Most High, in their mind, in their spirit. You understand? And try to give them the recognition that they need to have the right spirit, the right mind, the right occupation, the right companionship, the right residence, environment to live in, to eat the right foods, and all those right things. And they need more than what Farrakhan said he was out here to do, to give people hope. Our people need help, he said, so he's chosen himself to give them hope. I'm not here to give you no hope. Not no hope to end nowhere. Hope for what? I would like to ask him if, what is his hope for? Because it seems like his hope is in the illusions that he have in his mind. I'm here to give you truth. I'm here to give you the message that the Lord Most High sent down, the message that's going to live longer and, forever, beyond what these people got going on today. Because when I pass on, this word going to be here. It don't matter how many people ignore me and ignore the community I had and try to keep us shut down, like the government try to keep us shut down. The Muslims in this community told their people, nobody go to that community, nobody go to that center, stay away from Lyons Avenue, stay away from them people, and try to teach against the esoteric spirituality, which you need that esoteric spirituality, because Muhammad would not have risen without it, Jesus would not have risen without it. Abraham found himself in it, that's how he found his way. They are the devils. They are servants of the devils. They are agents of the devils. You understand?
People will try to take us away from the teaching.
And no matter how high or how low they are agents of the devil. I don't care how many times they call Allah's name. The devil Satan called Allah's name better than any man.
That's quite eye-opening.
It's the truth. It's the
something
truth.
that those other supposed teachers and prophets and ministers would never approach to touch. Nor, you asked the question if we've ever gotten a challenge from my past associations. I've heard the people complain and
but they won't come back.
No.
They don't come back. After Muhammad's the last, they send low-level thinkers, and then they come to argue, and all they can say is, Muhammad's the last, Muhammad's the last, Muhammad's the last. And you deluded. Come on, give me something after that. Take this information and decipher it and tell me where it's wrong at. So if you can only say, everything I got going on is right, but I'm wrong just to say I'm the prophet of Allah, then that's a weak argument. Because see, even if you don't want to accept me as the messenger prophet of Allah, if you don't want to accept me as that voice of Allah, then take the words. Take them and bow down to the Lord and see what happens. Take them and try the Lord on them.
In order, you should take these words too. Eye-opening, mind-opening. This has been an A.H.A.D moment. You can contact us at P.O. Box 8795. This is Community of A.H.A.D, Newark, New Jersey 07103. You can contact us Our email at www.nearones@aol.com. This has been an A.H.A.D moment, and it has been our pleasure, Lord Holy-Apostle.
Thank you. I'm hoping that we can run the next week's show right after this week.
Always, at any time.
I'm ready to go.
Who of you want to do things right? To keep up with keeping your lives tight. Tight as in being right with the truth of true insight. Who of you want to do things right? Who of you